name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And it is a busy day for me today. Let me tell you, busy day. It's always a busy day when it's either Sabbath starts. Okay. This is how messed up Judaism is in general. Our holidays start at night, right? So they start like 5, 6, so whenever it gets dark, right? So for us, it's around 6:30 it starts. Our holidays start at night. So it's always a busy day, and there's a lot to do. There's a lot to do before. This is the holiday where we eat it. We basically have to eat it outside for a week. We have baked this little booth. I think I'm going to do a little live stream from it so you can see what it is. There's just a lot of stuff. Okay, I got to get... There's lots of weird stuff. I gotta get these this palm leaf, right? And I'm not making this up. I gotta get a palm leaf and a lemon and some twigs, and I gotta bind them together. Well, you might ask why, right? Why would you do that? So I can shake them. Okay, that's part of the weird crap you do this time of year. Again, I'm gonna try and send you guys photos. Okay, I'm gonna try and post photos of the weirdness. So you go, well, that's pretty strange. So anyway, I got a lot to do today. I'm starting early. I got 2 videos to knock out. It was going to be one, but then I saw something I got a comment on. So, you know, that became 2. I really don't have time to do it. But you know, I can't not. So there you go. That's where we are. Before we get into it, you can hit the like, share, and subscribe button. That's all fan-dabby double-dozy. That'd be fan-freaking-tastic. Thank you very much. Go check out my Indiegogo. It's right here in the video notes. 2 awesome graphic novels. I'm hopefully going to be talking to the printers today if I'm printing all in the UK. Oh my god. All right, right now. Latest thing I hate doing. I'm getting the spreadsheets ready so the printers can send everything to the right people. Look, that is just not something I'm enjoying doing at all. I'm so paranoid. I'm so paranoid. I make sure everybody's going to get the right thing, right? It's like, it's really genuinely terrible. So what I think I'm going to have to do is, after I get all these spreadsheets ready for them, then I'm just going to go through the orders manually and just make sure everybody checks off. And there's a lot, right? There's a lot. It's my first time doing this bit. It's the first time that I've run a crowdfunding campaign that's been, you know, this successful. So, but I just got to make sure everybody gets the right thing. I'm sweating. I'm this close, right? I'm this close to saying, screw it. Everybody who's getting like both graphic novels. There's this one and there's this one. Just we'll get all the posters, right? I mean, I'm down. There's 4 posters. I was gonna give everybody 2, but then there's people who already bought them, so bought the posters I'm giving away. So I feel like I got to give those people bonus posters, right? Something else. So I'm just thinking, maybe I should just give everybody everything, right? Just give everybody everything, right? And that way I'll be covered. I think it's not really fair because these people paid more than I don't know. But anyway, this is the existential angst that I am that and tying together my my palm leaf and lemon and oh god. Okay, so this is the existential angst, the living hell that is being me. So what I do to relax, I read comics. So here's a good one. You can read this called The Imperium. It's a love letter to telefancy of the 1960s. Artwork by Dominic Rancho. I wrote this one along with the backup strip in there. The Ice Warriors. It's kind of like the Dalek strips, so these one-page Dalek strips. Stefano Cardacelli did the art, and here's one of the posters that everyone's getting, Noble Savages, and I think everyone's getting this one as well, this Tom Baker one, or this one. I can't decide about it. Or I just might give everybody everything, right? I might give everybody everything. That's how paranoid I am right now, and I'm genuinely paranoid that people aren't going to walk away with a positive experience, right? That's basically why I'm sweating buttocks. So, not buttocks, sweating buttocks. Buckets. Now, I'm not sweating buttocks, okay? That would be really... Well, no, little arseholes coming out your face. No, I'm not sweating buttocks. I'm sweating buckets. Anyway, there you go. For the Mel Games cast. Embarrassingly, this is the thing I'm most excited about. Okay, like I can't, although I'm looking forward to seeing the spines of the graphic novels. I've remastered them. I got my new Rabbi from Another Planet logo on them. It's all exciting, baby. It's all exciting. Hopefully, it's going out this week. Okay, if you want it, get in the videos. I don't. It's going offline as soon as they tell me that it's going to print. Right. So there we go. Fine. Like, share, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you think, and I will endeavour to reply to all your comments. My live stream tomorrow night's going to be a little bit later because I got to wait for the Jewish holiday to end. So before I can go online. So it'll be about 6:30 tomorrow. Fine. Let's look at this story. But before we look at the story, let's look at this thing over here. There you go. So this puts this story in context. This is from a number of years ago. From the Doctor Who's feminist script writers, right? So, again, I think this is from about 2018, 2019. I'm not entirely sure. You can find it on Twitter, and don't go on Twitter, it's awful. John the White posted this. And it puts like the current era of Doctor Who in complete context. And I think that's important to do before we look into John Bishop, who has no freaking clue what he's walked into, right? I mean, again, the parallels with Bonnie Langford in season 24 is so stark. It's like after watching the season 24 Blu-ray. Bonnie Langford was like, yeah, Doctor Who looks so much fun. I can't wait to be in Doctor Who. And John Bishop's exactly the same. Like, hey up, Chuck. Not hey up, Chuck. Hey, was it? Hey, kid. I had to work out which region of England I was going to insult by talking down to. There you go. Hey, kid. I'm in Doctor Who, but he has no idea what that means, right? He knows Tom Baker. It's like, well, that was good when I was a kid. He knows it was super popular, kind of up until the moment Jodie Whitaker wandered in, and it was awful. So why is this Doctor Who he's going into not like the Doctor Who he imagines he's going into? So because of this. So let's look at this post over there. We began 10 years ago. Few believed we will be able to slowly take the patriarchy institutionally out of the show. Yeah, because it makes it not the show, right? Again, the Doctor is a masculine character, and I think that's very, very important. The Doctor is a very masculine character. And again, from my point of view, I think he could have been played by he could have been played by. I think the character could have been played by a woman, right? I understand a lot of you watching this don't disagree with me. All right, listen, vive la différence, baby. It'll be a boring world if we all agree. But I think it's a masculine character and a patriarchal character. And here's the thing, I don't think that's a bad idea. I think the world we have today, with unlimited bounty for everyone. I mean, really, it's like like we live in a time. Well, I mean, up until the last 5 years when, like, weird communists have tried to destroy the world. Yeah, up until 2015, we lived in, like, a kind of glorious age of technology and freedom. And, like, tolerance. And we all kind of got on with each other. We had this, again, these amazing advances in technology that brought us all together. Sadly, it brought us all together to make mobs, not entirely dissimilar from the Salem witch trials, right? So, you can always rely on human nature to screw up a good thing. So they really believe the male patriarchy is a bad thing. And again, I understand a lot of people don't like capitalism, and capitalism is not a perfect system by any way, shape, or means. It genuinely isn't. I think the biggest problem with capitalism, if you're going to ask me, is generational wealth. I think the point of life is to grow and be better, to be more than you were, right? And to keep doing that your entire life. And I think that's a doable thing, all right? I think that's a doable goal. If you're very wealthy, if you're born into wealth, that makes it a lot harder. That makes it a lot harder to have a good, strong character. I think if you do that with wealth, you're a much stronger person. Again, people are only as good as they have to be, right? And if you're very rich, you're born into a lot of money, it's not good for you, right? It can be detrimental. And yet, there's this insane jealousy that they don't have the same stresses as normal people do. You know, it's but I listen. Don't be upset with what somebody else has. Right? Everybody has exactly what they need to have to make themselves into a great person. And even though it's not the case, it's a very good way of looking at it. Anyway, so they got this insane idea that men have wanted to keep women under the thumb through. And you know, it's not. Yeah, I'll take that back. It's not insane, right? It's not an insane idea. It happened, right? Sexism was a real thing. Yeah, I agree. Sexism was absolutely a real thing. I think it's something that's really been expunged from society. Here's the thing. I don't think it was something that was defining of Western civilization. I think the differences in opportunities and rights for men as opposed to women came from their perspective, a respect and a respect of women, that they felt it was immoral for a woman to perform hazardous labor or be put into a dangerous situation, like a physically dangerous situation, because they are physically weaker than men normally, right? And men who are physically stronger normally than women have an obligation as that to protect women, to use their physical strength to protect women. And it's not just physical, this is how we are physically, but I think that's a psychological thing, right? So I think that's why we have these differences, sexist differences that appeared in the past, but I don't think that was the root of it, right? I don't think it was like, women are scary, we got to keep them under control, otherwise they're going to get out and take over the world and eat us all. And I don't know what they think we're scared of, right? But they think it's a very scary thing. Okay, so fine. So they wanted to take it out show, which has done exactly what you would know what happened. It's destroyed the show. It's become the inverse of what it was. It's really weird as a sociological experiment. It's a Doctor Who is no longer authoritative because that's a masculine trait, and so they don't want to be masculine. And again, it seems reasonably sexist to make a female character not authoritative. But okay, whatever. And you know, you can't be like anti-authoritarian either, because you know the people making Doctor Who today, it's all wrapped up with this weird feminism and anti-racism, which is really sexism and racism, right? As far as I can tell. That it's all you have this like these weird attitudes all mixed together. It was subtle, Mrs. Jing's article, but to change the male patriarchy, it was long worked effort that she hints on the significance of. Yeah, listen, this is something they absolutely wanted to do, right? 100% absolutely wanted to do. The image of a male doctor and what that stood for is now irrelevant to young men. No, you want it to be irrelevant to young men. Because here's the thing. These gender roles, which you hate so much, are I think, somewhat core to our self-identity. All right? And I don't think it's a societal thing that's placed upon us. I think this is more society's fault as a reflection of our psyche, rather than vice versa. But and I think young men in general are in absolute freefall because they've been told it should be irrelevant to them, but their nature is saying no. Their nature is screaming no. So you get a lot of very messed up people. That's why I think a lot of these kids on Twitter are just so messed up, or on TikTok or whatever, because I'm sure there's a bunch of normative straight people who are having like same-sex relations because they want to be fluid, right? They told that if they're not, they're evil, and I just think that's gonna mess you up, right? I think honestly, if you're a straight guy who's been browbeaten into sucking a dick, because you feel bad, it's got to do something weird to your head, hasn't it? I mean, I think so. Now relevant as a symbolic as symbolic abuse to women. Now let me read it again. The image of a male doctor and what it stood for is now irrelevant to young men as symbolic abuse to women. Yeah, no, again, that's your perception. I understand that's your perception. And yes, certainly there was abuse of women there as well. But again, if you go into history, right, with honestly, and look at it in a real way, it's impossible to say that one group of people, like one large group of people, had any better or worse deal than another large group of people. Men had very bad lives, women had very bad lives. But weird thing is, there was a lot more happiness, right? I think there was a lot more happiness when these normative gender roles were adhered to, and I think there's a lot more misery and mental ill health now, as we have crazy people like this telling us that no, these normal gender roles, they're very, very bad for you. They're very bad. Don't do them. Very, very bad. By feminization, the character as a male role model is no longer what it once meant. Yes, we agree. Yes, it's not. Exactly. And how'd that work out for you? Yeah, the show just imploded. Like, completely imploded. This is for the better people. I understand you want to lecture us and you want to impose your will on the rest of the world. You want to remove freedom from people, because the reason you want to put your will on people is because the people don't want this nonsense. And how do we know they don't want this nonsense? They all turned off Doctor Who, didn't they? Yeah, they don't want it. Why? Because gender is something that's core to our identity, and for most people is not fluid. For 99.8% of the world is not fluid, right? And that's just the reality, I'm afraid. It makes it a matriarchal role model for young women. Yeah, but young women aren't interested in it because it's not interesting, right? Because you made it a matriarchal role model, it's just simply dull. It's not exciting. She can't be wrong, right? Because if she's ever wrong, it's a negative statement toward women or something like that, which makes her a very boring character. Yeah, your boy Zach makes this point often, and he's absolutely right. There are a lot more roles for black people on TV now. There's no interesting roles because they can't have any human flaw whatsoever, because that's considered racist, wicked and racist by crazy people. So we just have boring characters. So the only interesting characters now are the white men, right? Who are able to have like some flaws to them. And I think it's worse than it's ever been in entertainment right now, in terms of racism, in terms of representation, which is kind of funny. You think about it. This is for the better people. It makes it a matriarchal role model for young women who aren't interested, right? I watched the Big Bang last night, or the Pandorica Opens? I can't remember which one. The last episode of season season 6 of Matt Smith's first season. Freaking awesome, absolutely awesome. Really well balanced episode, and the balance of having a relatable, again, flawed assistant, which Amy Pond was, and a rather good-looking Doctor Who, I think is made it a much more relatable model for young women. Young men not interested in this at all, right? The only people watching this Doctor Who are the ones who have been tied to their chair by their guardian-eating mothers, who want to post pictures put them on TikTok of them watching the stunning and brave girl Doctor Who, who's useless. The gay and transgendered. Oh, well, okay, again, why are you speaking for the gay, for God's sake? No. Weirdly enough, for me being a Bible-thumping creationist, right, I got a very, very large gay viewership, right? You know why? Because people don't like to be talked down to by you morons. People don't want to go, oh, are you gay? Oh, we got to look after you. Oh, I know. It's okay. I'll look after you. No, you don't need to do it. This is really the rule. Okay, we're dealing with anybody. Okay, regardless of skin color, regardless of sexual orientation, regardless of anything, treat people like human beings. Treat everybody equally, right? And I think I had somebody comment who was handicapped, right? And they were talking about how they needed more handicap representation. The article, the video I was doing, was commenting on an article talking about how much they need more handicap representation. And this guy was like, really? That's the last thing we want. Yeah, everybody can see themselves as a hero, right? You don't need, an idiot in the entertainment industry to have somebody look similar to them being a hero for them to be able to see themselves as a hero, right? I that's just insane. And again, in the 70s, right? I agree with you. It wasn't so egalitarian, right? 2015. No problem. 2010, again, 2010. That Matt Smith episode of Doctor Who, perfectly egalitarian. The way the story weighted between Amy and the Doctor, it's just crazy. It was absolutely crazy to suggest there is any like male dominant patriarchy. It's just stupid. It doesn't reflect reality, which is something these people really aren't that into. Gay transgender, as well as sexually exploratory for opening up women to have better body images. Again, look, okay. The entertainment industry is full of scummy people, right? And they will do whatever they can to make a buck. Now, they do know if they put a scantily clad, sexualized woman on anything, men will go, oh, what's that? Can I look a bit more? I mean, how do we know that? Exhibit A, right over here. Yeah, exactly, right? I got your attention now. This is something built into our DNA, right? It will make people look. So, yes, they exploit women to do that. They also exploit men. They exploit everybody. I understand that. And generally speaking, I think there is room for more better body positivity for imagery. I think that there certainly was room for that. However, to have an ideal of beauty and take that away and like destroy that, right, and say no, that's not an ideal of beauty anymore, is bad because it takes away something to aspire to. And I understand it's impossible to meet those aspirations because most people are not, do not have a few hours of makeup and are treated with Photoshop before they walk out the door, right? But we all know it's an ideal that you can't aspire to, right? But it should be something that you can aspire to. I have to say, it's I think one of the greatest tragedies of the age is how women are being discouraged from beautifying themselves because women in general like to look pretty. I know all these things are just so basic, right? And I don't think, if you're somebody who doesn't like that, that's cool. That's cool. But I'm saying, women like to look pretty, right? I don't think they like to look pretty for men, right? I don't think they like to look pretty. My mum, she would I don't think she would very much always put a face on before she went out, put a makeup on and everything, and she did it for herself, right? She did it 100% for herself because she liked to look pretty, right? And it's not wrong. It's not wrong, and it's not wrong that men like women looking pretty either. This is how we marry and reproduce. These are all good things. Well, by the way, big shout out to if you haven't seen this comic book, was Charlie's London? I can't remember her name. The woman who wrote it, Charlie's London. I call her Charlie's London. Just got married yesterday. I had no idea she was getting married. So Mazel Tov, Charlie's London, and was it stencil artist Jan? It was just, I have to tell you, I thought they were already married. I had no idea, but it was really nice. I'm like, it's so rare. You turn on your Twitter feed, right? And I saw the wedding pictures. It was really lovely. Okay, it was so nice at some point to see something nice on Twitter. That made you go, ah. It's not done to be cruel. No, you are. I know it's not. I know you don't think you're being cruel, but you are. When you impose your will on others and you destroy our basic freedoms, you are being cruel, right? But the systemic implementation of the ability to change the meaning of the character over time. And he did. You totally changed it and destroyed it, right? And destroyed it. Few in the creative process understood the profundities at the time. Well, we all did, and we were all told we're imagining things, okay? That's it. Back when they thought no one was looking, the Femme Front directly bragged about their plan to destroy Canon on their now deleted WordPress account. But the internet never forgets. So thank you, John the White. John the White is a very good person on Twitter to follow for all these things. So that's the context, okay, in which John Bishop has wandered somewhat unwisely into Doctor Who. Nothing hits you inside like the noise of a Dalek saying "exterminate." I haven't heard him enough to take the piss off his voice. I mean, I could. Who was it that did? There was a comedy show in the 90s which always took the piss out of Liverpudlian soap operas or like comedy soaps like Bread, and everybody had like frizzy hair and they all go, right, no, was it? Lad. Every other word, right? I wish I could remember what that was, but it was very funny. I remember liking it. Anyway, nothing at you like the inside, like the noise of the Dalek. Exterminate! Well, yes, and then people are saying, well, that doesn't mean there's Daleks in anything he's done. Kinda does. Okay, he is a total normie, right? He is a total normie. He has no idea what he's wandered into. And you know, he's the sort of person who doesn't think about Daleks walking up and down the street, right? He's not like me. He's not, I do think I would love to know, is there Dalek art, right? It's got to be a bit like some kind of like tableau of cruelty. Are there Dalek narcotics? Yeah, like all that stuff would be interesting to me. So that's what I would. That's also something I would explore. Doctor Who magazine's TARDIS tin contains 120 tantalizing, taxing, and trivial questions. They're mainly trivial. I mean, honestly, the TARDIS tin is a way to interview somebody without putting effort into it. It's really kind of dumb, right? Thanks for each interviewee must answer a random selection. This used to be a one-page filler. This used to be a one-page. Now it's like 5 pages. I mean, like, listen, I can't stand Ben Cook, and I understand a lot of people will just not buy the magazine if they see his name on it. I'm not so churlish, but listen, that's going to happen if you insult your viewers, your readership, your audience. If you turn around and say like relentlessly berate people and be wrong more often than not and have no idea. I remember one time, okay, the reason that I had a run in with Ben Cook was that he was posting on this thing saying, well, why would anybody be opposed to a trans woman in a gym, right? So I'm like, and it just saw on my face, I just said, well, I think you need to check with women, but some women are uncomfortable with women with penises. With people with penises in sharing a space with them. Even other women with penises, they're not happy. He lost his shit. So like, so he went trolling my account and made like a super cut of me like screaming about stuff. He said, "Look at you, you're nearly 50." This is the thing where he absolutely lost it. Okay, I said, well, dude. You're nearly 40. Yeah, I'm 50, right? I'm very, very happy. My kids are all grown. My house is paid for. I have a successful career. I've achieved stuff in my life that I'm very, very, very proud of. Ben mate, you're nearly 40, right? You've done nothing. You have no children. You have no relationships. You spend your life screaming at people on Twitter. You're the definition of a loser, right? He didn't like that. That kind of hit home a little. But anyway, so a lot of people won't buy Doctor Who magazine if his name's on it. He can interview. Man, he knows how to interview, and this is not it, right? This is simply not it. So it's a shame. There's a lot more interesting stuff they could have done. But so what? Who cares? So anyways, this is from the latest issue of Doctor Who magazine. I would recommend you going and buying a copy. We're not going to be looking at the whole thing. The copyright gods may not be up for that. Oh man, as everything I see of Jodie Whitaker, she's so freaking awful. Okay, I mean, I don't know how to say this. She's just so relentlessly awful. I'm looking at this picture from the trailer, and again, look, she's not the Doctor, right? It's that feminist front have absolutely changed the character into this, and it's just something that I think most people, Doctor Who fans, are not that interested in, right? So let's have a look at, we're going to read the beginning bits and then we'll cherry pick. Okay, again, if you want to read the full interview, go and buy a copy. John Bishop is a lucky man. Really? Not so lucky. So he says 5 times, in fact, throughout the course of the interview. When all the stars align, he tells us, that's a good day. Okay. And the stars did align for when John joined the cast of Doctor Who. Yeah, he couldn't get another job because they closed all the theatres. It was very fortuitous, he considers. When it was originally discussed, they couldn't do it because I was going to be on tour. I had a better job, right? I like the way he just says it without any blink. The tour dates crashed, and I couldn't get out of the tour. But then I was the tour. I couldn't get out. But then I was forced out the tour because of the pandemic. And my shows were postponed. So I felt very lucky that because I had a job waiting for me. You are lucky. Again, if only you knew, right? If only you're like, oh man, I'm going to be in Doctor Who. This is kind of cool. That's how much he doesn't know or care about Doctor Who, right? He was going to say no until he didn't have a choice. As much as anything else, I felt lucky. Number one, to have been considered for it. Look, Chibnall needed somebody to replace the resident human being, which was Bradley Walsh. Bradley Walsh was the resident human being in Doctor Who. And you need you need somebody personable, because man, the charisma black hole there is Mandip Gill and Jodie Whitaker, who are just amazeballs and love each other so much. Needs a bit of a white male apparently to counteract that. When it was originally discussed, blah 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 blah, felt lucky, and then extremely lucky that circumstances meant I could do it and I had a job. Yeah, I understand. You could earn, mate. John is speaking to Doctor Who magazine from his flat in Cardiff. He's just come from a dubbing session for an upcoming episode. We did a load of stuff for social this afternoon. Too. Yeah, nothing live, right? Nothing live at all. Well, at least they're doing something to promote the show. It's shocking how little they're doing. We did a lot of stuff for I can't do his voice. I got to hear him more. Okay, he always comes out as Jodie. He has in his thick Liverpudlian accent. Is John enjoying working with his new co-stars and fellow Northerners, Jodie and Mandip? Oh, I wonder what he's going to say. Do you think he's going to say, man, they're shit? I mean, like, really? I mean, look at Mandip Gill. Look at her there. Look, she's a moron. Look at that. Really? How do you think I'm enjoying it? I mean, like, I got to look at that, put him every day? Not so much, mate. Do you think he's going to say that? John, look at him. He's like, what the hell do I say about that? Oh, my God. Icky thump. If I'm being honest, you're not going to be. With you, no. Okay, what? If I'm being honest with you, no. I need to let it all out. It's all about the Doctor. What? John pauses and then he laughs. He is, as he reminds most of us later, first and foremost, a comedian. Okay, what? Okay, fine. So what's the joke? Let me see if I can work out what the joke is. Is John enjoying working with his new co-stars and fellow Northerners, Jodie and Mandip? If I'm being honest with you, no. I need to let it all out. It's all about the Doctor. Oh, okay, fine. So she's getting all the screen. Well, of course it's all about her. Again, that Matt Smith episode I watched last night, it wasn't all about the Doctor, right? It was about split evenly between him and Amy Pond. You know, there's a bit of River Song there, but basically split evenly between the two of them. It's and they could do that because he has talent, he has strength as the Doctor, where Jodie Whitaker isn't. So they got to make it all about her. John pauses, then laughs. He is a comedian. No, they've been great to work with. He confirms. Chuck, he's been great to work with. So welcoming and really supportive, particularly to someone like Genghis Khan? Me. Okay, fine. Particularly someone like me, who's not done a run on a series like this before. Darling, no one's done a run on a series like this before, except maybe the later run of Crossroads, okay? No one's done a run like this, a disastrous run like this before. No. Yeah, this is new territory, mate. This is absolutely new territory. It's not. I know everyone knows it, but everyone says Jodie is phenomenal. Everyone does say Jodie is phenomenal, don't they? In fact, it's almost as if you're not allowed to think anything else. Even though, the weird thing is I watch her on TV and she's really shit. She's really useless. But everyone says she's phenomenal. It's weird, isn't it? The way she carries the show. No, she's like a wrecking ball of awful going through it. It carries the amount of responsibility that she wears so lightly on her shoulder. She wears it lightly because she doesn't give a shit. Girls say that's why she wears it lightly, because she's awful. That's why, because she's absolutely unbelievably awful. She wears it so lightly on the show. It's staggering. It staggers all of us. How she doesn't give a shit. How she said, I'm the doctor now. Oh, look, I brought the glass ceiling. Oh, look at me. All right, now, if you that was a responsibility, which she wears very lightly on her shoulders, is staggering. The run's coming to an end. Thank the good Lord. Okay, and I'm just hoping Doctor Who in general goes into some kind of telos like a deep freeze. And so it can just like hide out the rest of this cultural insanity, hoping it will end. I guess people in China, though, in the 60s, thought the cultural revolution would just burn itself out. No. Who knows? Who knows what's going to be here? The run's coming to an end, and we were talking earlier about how weird it would be not seeing each other every week. Honestly, I can't think of anything better than not seeing that every week, right? Having just that out of the public consciousness, out of my consciousness, just gone. Yeah, it sounds wonderful, right? It sounds really wonderful. The run may be coming to an end for John, but for fans, Dan Lewis' adventures in time and space are yet to begin. We'll find out more about John's character in the coming months. For now, Doctor Who Magazine's TARDIS tin is full of questions that will help us get to know Dan, get to know John himself a little better. So these questions are all kind of stupid. Have you had a nickname? What's your favorite pizza topping? Man, I had a good pizza last night. Okay. Do you ever Google yourself? Of course he Googles himself. He's a comedian. Yeah, anyone who says they don't is lying. Of course you do. You've got to remember, my main job is a comedian, so I had to promote my tours and stuff like that. Yeah, okay, we know. You do Google yourself. It's a bit of Star Trek. I think I had that annual. Right? I think I had that annual. What's your best joke? And I think it's saying Doctor Who Magazine. Who would play you in the movie of your life? I was just saying about the pizza I had last night. Okay, gluten-free. So it wasn't really. So my wife was very nice, got me gluten-free on. But we have like if you're Jewish, you don't have meat on your pizza. You're not allowed to mix meat and milk together, meat products and milk products together, and cook them together or eat them together. So they went to where was it? This pizza place that had a lot of fake meat. And I tell you, I'm loving the vegan invasion. It's working out well for me. Because again, let's say you want to have a cup of Rosie Lee after your steak. You can't do that if you're Jewish. No, you need to. But there's like, they make milk out of anything now. Let's make milk out of cashews. Let's make milk out of almonds. What about oats? Yeah, we'll make milk out of that. Really? And all it took was money. People say we will pay you for that, so that's working out. But anyway, it had they got me a fake meat lovers pizza, had pepperoni on it and spicy pork. None of this was real, obviously, but it was really good. It was really, really good. Boy, did that come out in a bit of a violent fashion this morning. But less said about that, the better. I guess that if I ever do a subscription service, that's the sort of thing you'll get there. William well behaved at school. In the main, yes, like everybody. Was I well behaved at school? I was. I mean, all the teachers liked me, so I would like. Basically, I was the same as I am now. I just was little and I kept taking the piss. What TV did you watch as a child? Fine, we'll watch this. Well, I did used to watch Doctor Who. Correct answer at last. But generally, I was out. Nah, he didn't. So he didn't watch it at all. Right. He was watching Buck Rogers. Okay. And there wasn't loads on, to be honest with you. When you consider, I was out like meeting people, being normal, and having sex with other people, with women. You know, like if you're a Doctor Who fan, not so much. I tell you, it's so weird to me now how many how much easier it is to hook up in fandom than it was when I was young, right? Because there were no ladies. In fact, I mean there were some, but it was like 3%. Okay, it was like maybe 5. But like now, it's like it's unbelievably easy to hook up with somebody. Quite amazingly. Yeah, how the times have changed. So it was out when you consider the amount of television that was around now. There wasn't much kid-oriented stuff when I was growing up. I like Worlds of Garbage and Banana Splits. I love Banana Splits. I love Star Trek. That was my favorite program, and of course, I did like Doctor Who. I was a fan until the Daleks came, and then they terrified me, and I stopped liking it. Okay, what's your earliest memory of watching Doctor Who? Okay, this is relevant. When you're a kid, I guess on what Doctor you see most when you're growing up. My earliest memory, which wasn't my first first thing I saw, but my earliest memory, because I had already knew Doctor Who at the time. It was like just a thing that was always around. Would have been about around my 5th birthday. And it was a rerun, or 6th or 7th. It was a rerun in August of the Horns of Nyman. It's been it wasn't something I hadn't seen before. It was something that was like kind of intrinsic to my life. So if any clever people can look up the schedules, you'll see where that was. I have no idea. August rerun of Horns of Nyman, right? I guess it depends on what Doctor you see. John Pertwee was my first incarnation. Yeah, I kind of remember very, very vague memories of Planet of the Daleks, the big purple cloak things they were under. Might have been a rerun of that though. Did they do it again? I don't know. I don't know schedules. I'm not an Andrew Pixley like person. Was my first thing, and I stayed with it during the Tom Baker phase. And that's when I watched the show the most. I remember John Pertwee, Tom Baker. I remember watching the regeneration episode. I didn't believe he could do it. I'm considering. I'm just wondering what year that would be and how old I was. That'd be 74. Okay. There you go. Perfect time. I was 8 years old. A great age to see this incredible differences between two Doctors. And the characters and the look, but I got it. I remember understanding it was the same person. Yeah, it's not overly complicated. Hey, first job, what are you most scared of? I don't know. Was it watching the Daleks? Yeah, who cares? Have we been visited by aliens? I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, the whole Nimitz incident, stuff like that, does sound like probably. But are they aliens or extra dimensional? Who knows? If you can travel back in time and offer yourself some advice, what would it be? Ooh, what would I offer myself? See, this is just more interesting, okay, than hearing his answers. What advice would I tell myself? Buy Bitcoin, right? Buy Bitcoin sink about 10 grand into Bitcoin in 2012. That might work out well for you, right? That's a good piece of advice. Fine. I was a big fan of comic books, particularly Spider-Man. I love Spider-Man. I love Batman. I had a big stack of comic books that they passed down to me by my cousin. Then I reached the point where I said, I'm too old for this. I was about 14 and 15, and I thought comics aren't for me now. When you grow up, you don't do comics. I never felt that way. Okay, I never felt that way. So I passed them on, which I guess is what you're supposed to do. I did a gig in Cardiff the other night, a little warm-up, and some of the Doctor Who crew and cast came out to it. I was talking to them about the San Diego Comic-Con panel we did online. Yes, very far from any actual people, right? I've never been to a Comic-Con. There was a guy in the front who said, who showed me he had a TARDIS tattoo, a rose tattoo, the first companion on the new series with Chris Eccleston. We know that, mate. You're a normie. We know. He showed me some of his tattoos he had. Pokemon tattoo and various other ones. I thought he was going to say a Parkinson tattoo. Not the disease, as in the interviewing guy. And I said to him, on one level, part of me wants to say grow up. On another, see, here's the thing. Like, again, when I was a kid in school, I really didn't see any difference between going to a Doctor Who convention or getting Doctor Who magazine and watching football, right? I did like, it's okay to paint your face a color and scream at a crowd in a crowd for when someone's kicking a ball around, but not. Okay, it didn't. Okay, well, and I was like, if you want to do that, it's fine. I'm fine, but why can't I do my thing? No. But a bigger part of me admires the fact you kept the child in you. What? Put yourself into a child. What was that? Legs akimbo for legal gentlemen. Man, they probably can't show that anymore. As we all know, comics aren't just for kids now. But I wish they were. By any means, comics aren't now. When you want comics, you've got to go to people like me. Comic industry is dead as dead. So that would be something I'll say to my younger self. Don't rush to grow up. Fine. Who would you most like to meet? Thing of the morning. When are you happiness? When he knows his kids are happy. What ambitions do you have left? I don't care about any of this stuff. Have you had time to decide who you'd like to meet most? No, still don't care. Well, looking forward to meeting Dan in season 30. Dan Lewis in season 30. Thanks a lot. Fingers crossed you like it. We won't. I hate to disappoint you. We really, genuinely won't. Okay, that's like, Dan, I got nothing against you, mate. I got nothing against you, but we really, genuinely will not like it. Okay, I apologize. Alex, look, I can see how excited you are, mate. I can see how excited I'm like, hey, I'm in Doctor Who. Like, I can see you're up for it. Sorry. Sorry is all I can really say. Sorry. My name's Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.